Hello, I'm Brownfield anchor reporter Meghan Grebner. With us today is Baylee Jordan, channel Technical Agronomist. Hello.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're getting close to planting season, and today, plenty for us to talk about as we're right ahead of that 2021 start date. Baylee, as we get started today, let's talk a little bit about some things that growers need to consider right now.
Yes. So, some things that I really have been working with my growers and talking to my growers about is really making sure that before we start planting season, that our field conditions are ready for planting, making sure that the soil moisture is in the right spot and that we're getting soil temperatures consistent with, really 60 degrees Fahrenheit or above.
When we look at the upcoming growing season, are there some things that maybe we need to be concerned about agronomically that we're watching and maybe trying to plan for or be preventative in our steps?
Some of the things that I really think that we should be paying close attention to is in eastern Kansas, southwest Missouri, and Oklahoma. Uh, Historically, the past few weeks, we've had some really cool temperatures that we've had to deal with. And if we continue to trend with those cooler temperatures, some of the things that we need to watch for after we plant our corn and soybeans are seedling diseases such as Phytophthora, Pythium, and Fusarium. Making sure that our soil temperatures are coming up will help, and utilizing things such as seed treatments will also be a great preventative measure that growers can use.
Aside from the couple of weeks of really cold weather recently, it's been a fairly mild winter. Does that also present some challenges and maybe some things trigger some things that growers should think about when it comes to the 2021 planting and growing season as well?
Really making sure that we're scouting for pests in the field when we think about that, making sure that when our seedlings come up, we're out watching for things like black cutworms, for example.
Let's talk a little bit about maybe some agronomic topics or agronomic hotspots for the 2021 growing season. What are some things that you're talking to growers about?
I really want my growers out in the field scouting. When we start out planning at the beginning of the year, we don't always know what the whole growing season is going to hold. Some of the things that I really want growers to focus on is being out in their field scouting, making sure that there are no pests that are going to create a surprise, making sure that they're scouting for weeds and using appropriate weed management systems for those weeds that they have, making sure that planting was successful and they have the stand that established that they were expecting. And so really being in touch with their fields is my best advice for going forward with any growing season, really.
Bailey, do we worry a little bit about it's been dry in some parts of the country as well and some drought conditions there about how that sets us up for the start of the planting season?
Yeah, in my area, we're actually we're having extreme wind gusts, and we are under a wind advisory. And we had the cold temperatures and not a lot of moisture. We were mostly dealing with the cold temperatures, and so going forward, if we do not turn into a really wet spring like we've seen the last couple of years, making sure that when we're planting, we're making sure that the seed has good seed to soil contact, and make sure that there is moisture there for that seed to take in and then start the germination process.
As growers are looking at beginning to plant and they go through the growing season, talk to me about some of the best ways for them to get in touch with their channel seedsmen and utilize that knowledge and that expertise as they're uh, planning and looking ahead.
One of the things that channel does really well is our field checkup series. Our channel seedsmen complete the field checkup series for their growers, and that's one of the services that that they provide. They're out there in their growers' fields for those field checkup series 4 times during the growing season, if not more, but 4 specific times within the growing season. That would be the seedling stage, the vegetative stage, the reproductive stage, and maturity. So that channel seedsman is with their customers from the time that seed goes into the ground until it's time to harvest, doing checkups and evaluating stands all the way to estimating yield at the end of the year.
Baylee, any final thoughts before I let you go this afternoon?
I appreciate your time, Megan. One of the things that I really want to drive home, and I mentioned this before, is taking the time to scout fields, being out there, being in touch with your fields. For more information on channel products and finding a local channel seedsman can be found at channel.com.
Baylee, thank you so much for your time. Have a great and safe planting season.
Thanks, Megan.
I'm Meghan Grebner from Brownfield.